No, not for art. This is Illustrated by DeForrest, where these pixels were handmade with care and only the best artificial ingredients. I'll be talking to you today about the robots you're irrationally scared of. Yeah, I'm talking about those two dread letters that ain't going nowhere, so get used to them. My name is DeForrest and I will be your host. This episode features the art process of my original work LaTonya's Hoodie and marks the first Street Pale Black character featured in this series revival. This work was a time challenge I gave myself back during an old live stream. The details are on the screen now. My book series has been around for quite a while. It's an action science fiction short digital novel that takes place in a dystopian world where a group that calls itself government have taken over. They've destroyed everything, they have won. But to maintain their control, they need one extremely powerful super weapon. But this guy right here with motor-enhanced skates, wielding dual scimitar-like blades, can turn the entire war in his favor if he can just get to it first. He's sometimes a vigilante, he's sometimes an urban samurai. He sometimes just wants people to leave him alone, but he's always called the Fire of Male Stereo. But don't let my elevator pitch do the walking for you. You can read this story for free right now by going to streetpaleblack.com. So, artificial intelligence, A and I, the two big scary letters that have everybody freaked out. The vowels that leak your bowels. Now this definitely isn't going to be my only video on this topic, but yeah, I'm an actual artist who is currently using AI. Alright, now put the torches and pitchforks away. I don't prompt images and say they're my art. I don't take AI pics and draw over them. We're in the show your work era more than any other time. My work is literally all the visuals of this show. And if you're thinking about signing off the video right here saying, oh, this guy's betraying his own craft and others' intellectual property and yada yada yada, like, look, this is a prime time to just sit still and listen. Now, I don't need to defend myself, but I actually hope you're mad at this. Get angrier even. Like, there are way too many people out there who want to disregard information just because it makes them uncomfortable. Math, science, history. Could you imagine any video game character taking on that attitude and not progressing because they encounter enemies? Whatever, if you think this all sounds political, but too many people like that are in charge of important stuff that affects all of our lives. That's why I tell my daughter that if you're mad or sad about something, learn about it. Haters and bullies try to do both to make you as dumb as them, since feeling is way easier than facts. So you gotta move in, not stand down. That's what progress is. If you're staying on level 1 forever, get ready to get lapped. Back on topic, I'm not saying we have to embrace every single thing. It's not mandatory to adopt every new chatbot and large language model. It's completely in your right to go out of your way to try and avoid all AI-enabled products. I hope you know the world's not putting the toothpaste back in the tube. The future is going to move no matter what. I'll be real with how I feel about it, and I want you to be real with yourself. And this is the IT professional side of me talking. If you plan to be 100% anti-AI in literally any industry now and forever, like trying to avoid all AI and AI accessories, I hope you're also planning to be near 100% anti-progress. There, I said it. Don't believe that? Go back a century or two and talk to people who said, we're sticking with fire. That whole electricity thing won't take off. Do you have any idea how long it took us to get from flying the first plane to going to the moon? Look it up, I ain't gonna tell you. Tech got us to the point where you can't even breathe air on this planet that doesn't have internet in it. Is that how we got that dumb 5G pandemic conspiracy? Either way, there's definitely a lot of ethics and environmental issues involved in AI development, but recognize the opportunity as well. This isn't a completely pro-AI talk, but let me actually chat a bit about historical perspectives that are guiding me, and what I'm not using it for, and being transparent about how I am. So, both me and the lovely director have been experimenting with various services lately. Because why? It's new technology. You have to adapt. Compare and contrast methods. What's about to be our competition? You don't ever need to obsess, but you should at least be aware. What do I say on this show? Learn every day. Over simplistic history incoming. We started with cave paintings. Then we moved on to drawing on scrolls and canvas. Then someone made paper. Then this invention called photography came around. Then we realized, hey, people still want their faces made out of graphite and paint, so we decided to keep drawing in analog. This particular phase is my favorite since it inspired the quote I tell other artists, escalators didn't put stairs out of business. But down the line, we also got digital as a choice. And now we're at this stage where we got extra digital without being ready. And I bet each time somebody said, oh, that's not real art. But I feel like they're right this time. I don't think AI generation is real art. I don't even use the terms artist or AI art. I say prompter and generated image respectively. And if that's what you want to be and make, then honestly, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I won't troll you in your comments either. Don't think I'm dunking on it entirely. It still takes a respectable amount of skill, patience, and creativity to prompt something decent. However, you passing it off as hand drawing or selling it as is, Well, it's based upon data from other artists, so that's a whole other story I'll glare at you sternly about later. As for me, this show is about the illustrative process, the journey, and not only the destination. I'm here for if you want to pick up a pencil and do some amazing things that lead to a great image. That's what illustration is about. But illustration, just like everything else, has to evolve. And I'm going to give you a few quotes to get your gears turning. This comes from the book Inside the Business of Illustration by Stephen Heller and Marshall Arizman. One might argue that illustrators who did not take the opportunity to either experiment with new forms or at least exploit the increased availability of new technology are wasting their precious creative time. To ignore the new as if it did not exist or wallow in the old because it has existed forever is a terrible mistake. The challenge, of course, is to harness all our aspects of these new media without diminishing the importance of traditional narrative or symbolic illustration. It means redefining illustration to be more than just a quaint spot or space filler on the average editorial or advertising page. Some argue that the illustration business is in the midst of an identity crisis. Heller and Arizman think the crisis is really one of attitude and is easily remedied. In order for the illustrator today to take advantage of the new technology and delivery systems, a fundamental change in thinking must occur. This is in the context of a book published in 2004. Just want to say that. Whatever the technology, most importantly, if an illustrator has nothing to communicate, no personal viewpoint or burning desire, then one's quest to be part of the zeitgeist is irrelevant. Traditional illustrators are hired to solve problems. They respond to someone else's text. I wonder what else responds to somebody else's text. And whatever medium and technology they choose, they respond by visual interpretation. Yet, even in this context, it's necessary to have a point of view. Once more, for those in the back, it's necessary to have a point of view. And this is where illustrators differ. You see, with AI, it'll just give you a result and that's it. It can draw, not literally, upon the perspectives of several artists based upon a data set, but it can never hold one of itself. Well, what's the point of view of an illustrator? What's the grind of the illustrator? What's the difficulty of the illustrator? Trying to figure out why we put a dot there or a line here? Why this color and not the other? Why smudge there and smear somewhere else? Deciding what goes where and how we're going to put it there? TLDR, I like pictures, I like having pictures of what I want, but I want to make them. And I want to enjoy the challenge of making them. Well, that was a lot of yapping about what I'm not doing, so what am I doing with AI? All in all, you gotta think of it as an employee who can read the surface web in an instant and feed you a whole essay in a matter of minutes. A search engine on steroids that were sampled out of a meteorite. If AI is good at anything, it's cutting to the chase. Unlike me, who's been chatting this whole time about what not to do. Have I mentioned that I appreciate everyone who tunes in? So, consider this my state of the, artificial intelligence use of 2025. I don't know. I'll think of a clever name for next year maybe. But quickly, I'll say that I use it for SEO, which is search engine optimization, to get the machines talking to each other so yours can tell you to check out Illustrated by DeForrest. Creating and revising a long-winded business plan that I use as a foundation for prompting the machine gods to help out Illustrated by DeForrest, and for delivering written reference material for business, general philosophy, and anything else I need to figure out because I'm a freaking nerd. Illustrated by DeForrest. I've been slowly adjusting my process so far this year as the director and I rebuild Life Forever from the ground up. How exactly have we been doing it and what have we learned? Welp, I'm flat out of time with this art process being done, so please subscribe and get notified for my AI details in the next show. If you like the 10-20-30 challenge, you can visit the shop at lifeforever3.com right now and use the discount code 10-20-30 for 40% off the worksheet. Once again, you can go to streetpeddleblack.com and read about LaTonya and the rest of the crew absolutely for free, and there's even a chance to get a free ebook. Remember, we give you new episodes of this show on the 3rd of every month. Move the media. Peace.